Okay, hello everybody. We just had a moment there with I literally spilled coffee in my eye. Oh, screen please. Come on now. Hi guys. I hope everybody's doing well today. I was drinking my pretty cold coffee. It's not like fully cold, but it's pretty cold. And then I got it in this eye. Not so good trying on stream. I don't know what the rules are on that, but I'm not doing it. Billy's making pizza, so could everybody get their orders in? Grammy, did you want ham and mushroom again? If you did not want pizza, let us know what you did have for dinner. If you didn't like what you had for dinner, tell us what you wish you had for dinner. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Loud Elvis. And welcome to the kitchen. It gets worse here by the day. That's true. Grammy Reed is here. Cellulite Yoga Pants. Billy Elliott. Very Cherry. Courtney. Who else? Vicky. I hope you guys are all doing well today. I saw the Barbie movie today, and I know I actually really liked it. I laughed a lot, a lot, a lot, and I had a really good time. So maybe it's just like my, it's made for me, ladies of my age, my antiquated age. So I did, it's hard. Billy, you should know this. I mean, I'm Scottish, so I wasn't in the sun at all today. But I think this is just residual. Yeah, it was funny. William, you're in luck. I barely started. It's seriously, I laughed out loud so many times, and I was with my dad and my three sisters and my daughter and I know it takes 20 minutes, Billy. You're right. Like I probably stood outside for maybe 5 minutes today, and that definitely got me. But yeah, we had a very, very good time. I really liked the movie. I really did. I haven't been to the movies in a long time, but I really enjoyed it. Today's been a bit of an off weird day, as we know. We're all sending healing vibes to Mikey. I don't think he's here, but we are sending them to him because they were off today. Y'all know that's where I hang out. Um, I went by and saw Sashina on Colin's stream a little bit ago, and they were doing awesome. So congratulations to them. Make sure that you sub to both of their channels. Oh, what else? Take your meds. That's what I was doing when I was drinking my coffee and then it spilled up into my eye. Oh my God, you guys, I had this. I don't want to ruin it for anybody that's going to see it, but let's just say the humor was right up my alley. Oh, thank you, Elvis. Let's go ahead and check out my weather lesson for the day. So, where I am in Victoria right now, back in Canada, it is 76 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, I still can't do this, 24 degrees. First of all, feels a lot hotter. Hi, Georgia Peach. Welcome, welcome. Dabble clock here, Courtney. That's a good one. Can somebody put in exclamation mark 420? Name the strain that you are on. So it's 24 degrees. That's hot. And then, but it's hard to get it. Like, I think I figured out why. Okay. Because in Canada, if the temperature changes by 10 degrees, so if it goes to 34 versus 24, that means something, right? Whereas in the States, there's a bit of a calculation you guys have to do. It's not 10, like a degree to a degree. So, like, if I was to say it's 10 degrees hotter to a Canadian, it'll mean something different than it would to an American. This is, I think, our problem. We're all calling them degrees, but one's Celsius, one is Fahrenheit. Regardless, as we've learned, oh, it just went up. See, I knew it was not. It just went up. So it is now 76. Didn't I just say 74? Oh, I maybe said 70, 24. Regardless. What have I got? I got my pen back. It's not there. It's right here. It sounds cold, but I'm not joking, you guys. Well, sweating. Well, this is that spray stuff again, but also it's pretty hot. Also, I think you guys would laugh if I showed you what I'm using for a fan right now because you may not even understand. But it's a heater. And I just turned it on to fan, but I don't have any heaters. Thank you, Jonathan. It's just like, seriously, look, it's a heater, but it's on fan mode. What is the temperature when it's winter? Pretty much like it, let's see, the average temperature is, oh, they even did it for us in Celsius. In December, it's 46, January 47, but we get rain 15 to 20 days of the week, or 15 to 20 days of the year, month. Sorry. Hot is hot. I know. Hot is hot. I mean, I hear that. Um, the coldest month in Victoria. Oh, that's Australia. Hold on. You got to be careful when you look up Victoria things because we have a sister city in Australia, Victoria, Australia. But I'm Victoria, BC. We have some court to watch today, guys. Oh, my Fitbit is broken. Well, it's not broken, it's just dead. Um, -20 for over 50 days. That's nuts. No, it does not very often snow here, I'm thankful for, because I don't even have snow gear. I don't even have a winter coat. Like that's the trust level I have in Canada not being cold where I live. I don't have a winter coat. I don't have winter boots. I don't even have summer stuff. I just have this one seasonality of just like I'll wear this tank top all year. Really, Elvis? Who's on it? Is anybody on it yet? Hi, Ron. Din Din Times, Moonfox Studio. You're here too. Attached to my phone here. I don't think I can do those. Um, where is it? I don't know if the boys will do that or not. Hopefully they will. Let me know if they do. Um, like I was saying, I really like the Barbie movie. I really think you should go see it. My dad really enjoyed it as well. They should be Grammy, I'm sure. Um, I could look in the Discord. I'm not gonna do that. Um, because I have, okay, I'm gonna take it off because it is not working and I keep looking at it and it's just not gonna help. So that's off. Oh, look who showed up for his shift today, by the way, y'all. Larry Beaver. Hello. But he's on reduced workload. They were like, he can't lift anything heavy. Redactions have to be pre-approved. Ugh, still gonna be useless, is what I've heard. Um, but I do have a little, oh Jesus. I open it up and I don't look. And now we have an interpreter case. That's okay, we're gonna try it. We gonna try it, okay? Um, just give me 1 second. I don't know if I can pull those streams up in Canada. Holy shit, he is flying. Larry, I know. We miss Larry a lot. I'm like, I was reaching for petting Larry, but I was grabbing my coffee too. Seems a little intrusive. Okay, let's get the cord going. Hi, BCM. They made a funny joke today in the Barbie movie about each end. Oh my god, I was laughing so hard. They're like, we're gonna beat each other off. Oh, just oh, thank you, Jonathan. Thank you all for subscribing. I appreciate that. This is we've got Steven Tyler moonlighting in here under their assumed name of Tracy Greenwood. Oh, the judge that looks like he's super young. Hold on. Why aren't you playing? Is this one muted? Hold on. I'm not a good YouTuber. Unmute tab. You see that? I had muted it.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct. For the court's record, is that correct?
Let's start again. You see that, Flusha? I feel a little. I don't think I can do a chase. I'm not qualified. I just don't think I'm qualified. That's honest to God. I'm not gonna lie to you, Flush. I got it up on my phone over here.
All right. Good afternoon. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, Your Honor.
Добрый вечер, меня все слышат?
All right. Which case is this?
Что это за дело?
Yeah, this is the Little Matter. Is that correct, Ms. Hutchison?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct. For the court's record, Attorney Meredith Hutchison appearing on behalf of Oksana Woodle, who is in custody, and the Russian interpreter is also present.
Perfect.
Также
Can I
для
ask the,
протокола.
can I
Для
ask the interpreter
протокола.
to, sorry, we're talking over each other. Can I ask the interpreter to put their name and credentials on the record, please?
Robert Gasparov, certified court interpreter, Russian language.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome, Bruce Davis. Glad to see that you've subbed to the channel. Elvis, I know. I saw that Mikey posted a video of that today. I have not had the chance to check it out. Like I said, I've been watching the Barbie movie today. But interesting that like I'm gonna watch it, but was he less manic? A little less? That's a crusty pie. That's a good one, Flushin. Guys, if you're just getting here, please go ahead, clock in for your shift by hitting that like button. Make sure that you're subbed to this channel. It's a new channel. I need you to sub to it. See, did it just die? What stream? Oh, they cut off that stream. And also go ahead and oh my God. Go ahead. Oh, Beverly's feeling better. That's great to hear. Yeah, we're trying to get to 500. Hi, KT. Melanie's licked it and loved it. Perfect. Glad to hear that. Inundate me. I love it. You guys are awesome. Sashina, what a fun stream. I'm sorry I wasn't able to stay longer, but you guys were doing awesome. I love all the court discussions. It's so great. We have above us, above me, the this Russian interpreter is going to be doing something. So, like I said, clock in for your shift. Let's get a little comfortable, grab some popcorn, if you will, and let's see what happens.
So I have a statement of defendant on plea of guilty today.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct. This case is quite old. I've reviewed the case with Miss Woodle while she's been out of custody previously. I believe she would like to take advantage of the city's offer today and change her plea to guilty under one count of loitering for drug activity.
I think we've seen her before. She's very familiar now that I look at her. The interpreter looks like a corpse or a vampire, Courtney. Did they just say loitering for Hey Colin, thank you for coming by. Did they just say loitering for the purposes of drugs? Drugs? Don't loiter when you're using drugs, folks. Come on now. Keep on the move. That was a really interesting case you were doing earlier, Colin. This is not my dealer. No, William. My dealers are smarter than that. KH, welcome. Welcome. I'm glad to hear you've been lurking and now that you're chatting. It's so lovely. Like I said, I watched Barbie movie earlier today. I'm streaming Barbie energy quite nicely right now. But let's see what's going on with this case. And like I said, now 3 times, please clock in for your shift by hitting that like button. It helps me with YouTube Daddy so much. And my own daddy. By explaining to him, no, I swear to God, people actually watch, Dad. It's hard to explain. Hey, St. John, what up, what up, what up? Some of my new friends, thank you for being here.
Да, Ваша честь, я поговорила, это довольно-таки старое дело, я обсудила этот вопрос с подзащитной.
Hold on. Is this going to get me in trouble with YouTube Daddy because of the Russian thing? I'm not even joking right now. They banned all the Russian channels. If so help me God, if this Russian language stuff gets me flagged, we'll have something fun to talk about. Let's just say that.
Которая сегодня находится в заключении, она хочет воспользоваться этой возможностью, которую предлагает сторона обвинения, и признать себя виновной по первому пункту обвинения в употреблении наркотиков в областях или в районах, где это запрещено.
And Your Honor, I've previously reviewed the offer with Ms. Woodle with another interpreter, and I also reviewed the offer again today and went line by line through the plea form with this interpreter.
И, Ваша честь, я уже в прошлом рассматривала это соглашение с госпожой Вудл через другого переводчика, а также сегодня построчно обсудила с ней рассмотрела с ней вопросы этого соглашения.
I will let the court know I have discharged my obligations under Padilla and Sandoval, and I have asked Ms. Woodle if she has any further questions before going forward, and she indicated she did not.
Miss Georgia, I love you and I thank you for being here. I'm very, very, look at that. Somebody subbed. But I am very, 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 very cognizant of the chat, and there ain't been no bullying in here right now. You are stirring the shit a little bit, and you're allowed to do that. I put the link in the Discord for the fight corner, but this is a safe place for everybody to come and hang out. And if you don't want to do it, peace. But there ain't been no bullying here so far. Except for me and fucking Larry. Shut up, Larry.
Также хочу сообщить суду о том, что я сдаю свои полномочия под Padilla Sandoval, и также спросила госпожу Вудл, если у нее есть какие-нибудь вопросы. Она сказала, что нету.
I have reviewed her rights, and I believe she's making a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of those rights today.
Также я обсудила с ней ее права, и она, насколько я понимаю, заведомо и с готовностью, отдавая себе в этом отчет, отказывается от этих прав.
And we'd like to be heard before sentencing.
И мы хотели бы подготовиться к вынесению решения.
All right, ma'am, is your name Oksana Woodle?
Yes.
And
how old are you?
Сколько вам
47.
лет?
47.
Do you see her face when she said her age? Look at it again. You know what, Colin? I gotta put the new instructions, the same instructions from my my channel before. I am very off topic. I'm very loud. I'm annoying. I'm aggressive. I am in people's faces, and so there's probably people that don't like me or don't like others, but we all are able to put that aside and hang out here pretty much with a good time. So, um, and also I literally created a part of my Discord called the Fight Corner, no crying. So if you want to go fight there. We'll all watch. Bring popcorn, but not on YouTube. She said 47. Okay, but let's go back and look at her face as she says it, because she looks like she's lying a little bit. Just a titch. We can make a crying corner too, Courtney. Absolutely. That's my office. You can come to my office. KCC, first rule of KCC Fight Club is tell us first for popcorn. I've created an unsafe space. I had to create my own Discord after I read some rules in other Discords, and I realized I break them all the time personally. So I had to make my own. We don't have those rules. It's not that you can be nice to anybody, just be prepared to eat your fucking words if I see you being mean, and you know what I mean, and you're not in the fight corner. Fight corners where, Harmony, there's some discord in the Discord. That's what it is. But in reality, again, this is the internet, people, and we are all adults as far as I'm aware. And according to my analytics, we're old adults. Okay? We ain't even got any of these 18 to 24-year-olds. We're old. So, like I said, I love you all, and I will always be honest with each and every one of you. So, and remember, I was gonna offer that argument alley before, where if you need to argue with somebody, you can argue with me, and I'll like give you my all, and then you can go home and not get in trouble with your family. That's a good idea, by the way.
All right, ma'am, is your name Oksana Woodle?
Yes.
Was
And how old are you?
сколько вам
47.
лет?
47.
So I have before me a statement of defendant on plea of guilty today.
Значит, я рассматриваю сегодня заявление подзащитной в том, что она признает свою вину.
Do you have a chance to go over that with your attorney?
Вам удалось обсудить это с вашим адвокатом?
Your attorney answer all the questions you may have had?
Ваш адвокат ответил на все ваши вопросы?
Do you feel like you need any additional time to talk to your attorney today?
Как вы считаете, вам нужно дополнительное время для того, чтобы поговорить еще о чем-то с вашим адвокатом?
Нет.
No.
You understand that if you plead guilty, you're giving up a variety of important constitutional rights. Those rights are contained in paragraph 5 of the plea paperwork.
Вы понимаете, что если вы признаете себя виновной, то вы отказываетесь от своих конституционных прав, которые изложены в 5-м параграфе вот этих бумаг.
Some of those rights include the right to remain silent, the right to a jury trial, and the right to appeal after a guilty finding.
Некоторые из этих прав включают в себя право на сохранение молчания, право на судебное разбирательство посредством присяжных, и также отказываетесь от права обжаловать решение после того, как оно будет вынесено.
Do you understand that, ma'am?
Вы это понимаете?
Yes.
You also understand that although there's an agreement between yourself and the city, I do not have to follow that and can impose up to the statutory.
Flusha, in fact, there are 2 foreplay corners on the Discord. There's like a not safe for work corner, and then I think there's one called Kink Link. So yes, I'll even try and I'm gonna post the Discord link again, and then I'll pin it. Okay. And Grammy Rita, 100%. like I said, I love each and every one of you for many different reasons, and I value each and every one of yours opinion. However, the only person's name on the damn channel is me. And so the only person who's getting called out is me. And that's sort of the rule. We've talked about that before. We've actually had to talk about that before. And YouTube Daddy. And Larry. And that's it. Me, YouTube Daddy, and Larry.
Maximum of 364 days and a $5,000 fine.
И также вы понимаете, что между вами, между стороной обвинения, я не должен это налагать, но значит, максимальный штраф может составить или отбывание в тюрьмы 364 дня, или максимальный штраф в размере $3000. Your Honor, this is the interpreter speaking. Just to clarify, make sure I heard you right. Did you say it was 3,000 or 5,000?
If I said 3, I meant 5.
5. Thank you. $5,000 максимальный штраф, не 3. Thank you for clarification.
You also understand that if you're not a citizen in the United States, a plea of guilty to an offense punishable as a crime under state's law may be grounds for deportation, exclusion from the admission to the United States, or denial of naturalization.
So the second part, deportation, denial of naturalization. What was the exclusion? The second part, I couldn't hear you.
The denial of naturalization.
One before that,
Exclusion from the admission to the United States.
admission into the United States. Thank you. I should know this by heart. Также, если вы не являетесь гражданином или гражданкой Соединенных Штатов, то есть если вы признаете себя виновной, то это может привести к тому, что...
First of all, did I get locked out of KCC 1.0 or did anybody else? Because nobody's ever been banned from the channel. And nobody ever will be. That's not how I roll. I got demonetized for reused content on the first channel. And that is why I had to make a new channel, because I can't figure out how to please YouTube Daddy. Do you know how many daddies I've pleased? But YouTube Daddy, so difficult. So yeah, I appreciate everyone migrating over here a little bit. It has been a learning curve, and I've also been away at Matsuri convention the last weekend, so I've been down a little bit. I had the chase on my phone there, but then I had to drop that link. It is, yes, and Larry Beaver did fight with Fernando last night. Fernando's not doing well. I'm just gonna say that. I'll go see if I can get Fernando. But, this is an important one for the interpreter to have figured out correctly, right? Like, she might get deported, she might be denaturalized or refused naturalization. What is naturalization? Anyone? Anyone? Deborah?
Значит, привести либо к депортации, либо к тому, что вас не пустят в страну, либо вы не сможете пройти натурализацию.
Я гражданка.
Hold on. But is that different than... Why did they have to say deported? Oh, like if you're already a citizen, they can deport you? But also they can refuse to make you a citizen? Exactly. I'm an immigrant to Canada. I'm a first-generation immigrant to Canada. I literally have a piece of ID that is my only proof of Canadian citizenship other than my passport, and that is me as a baby. It's a baby picture on my permanent citizen, my permanent, it's a Canadian citizenship card. I think they can deport a citizen if you're naturalized. So what that means is anybody that comes from another country, a naturalized citizen, or does that exclude somebody who might have married in? See, these are I mean, I'm sure this is why there's a whole subset of law where they deal with this, right? So you get a passport, which means you can leave, right? You can leave the country. I was talking to this Lyft driver from Ethiopia when I was in Houston, and he was explaining to me, first of all, well, y'all are just gonna look it up. But first of all, did you know that the first language of Angola is Portuguese? Thanks, colonialism. But excludes only original citizens. So you don't become a citizen until you're naturalized, but they can get rid of you. They can deport you. I know that we've deported Canadian, people that have become Canadian citizens. See, but that's so strange. Because does that mean they could deport me in Canada? Even though I've been here since I was a baby? I don't know if Scotland will want me back. I don't think they will. What would you have to do to get deported? I'm not going to say what racist thing I think you need to do. But let's just say I think the government's a bit racist. And yes, I hope I'm Canadian forever.
I am a citizen.
Okay. Other than the agreement between yourself and the city, has anybody made any threats or promises to get you to enter a plea of guilty today?
Помимо договора между вами и между стороной обвинения, кто-нибудь вам угрожал или давал какие-нибудь обещания для того, чтобы вы сегодня признали себя виновной?
Нет.
No.
There's a statement on paragraph 11. It is a statement that makes you guilty. I'm going to read it into the record and ask if you adopt it as your own statement.
Значит, изложение в 11 параграфе тут говорится о том, по какой причине вы являетесь виновной. Я зачитаю сейчас этот параграф для того, чтобы вы подтвердили, что это заявление правильное.
It says, on or about September 13th, 2022, in the city of Bothell, Washington, I was in an area of high drug use activity with the intent and purpose of using illegal drugs. Is that a true statement?
Здесь говорится, что приблизительно или точно 13 сентября 2022 года, город Баттл, Вашингтон, я находилась в районе, где повышено употребление наркотиков с целью употребить наркотики. Это правильное изложение?
Да.
Yes.
Knowing what rights you have in mind and the potential consequences of the plea, how do you plead today to one count of drug loitering?
Учитывая и понимая, значит, последствия, связанные с признанием вины в данном деле, по первому пункту обвинения, значит, потребление наркотиков в области, где это не разрешено, признаете себя, как вы себя признаете суду сегодня? Каково ваше заявление?
Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Виновна или не виновна?
Guilty.
I'll make a finding that you entered the plea knowingly, intelligently, voluntarily, and there's a factual basis to support the plea.
Тогда я ввожу здесь, что вы делаете это заявление заведомо и отдавая себе в этом учет, и также есть фактуальная основа для этого.
Anything from the city?
Какие-нибудь вопросы от стороны обвинения?
No, Your Honor, this is an agreed recommendation.
Нет, Ваша честь, это договоренная рекомендация.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Woodle has been in for 5 days at this point and previously also served a day. So it is our intention, if Your Honor follows the recommendation, that she not have any further commitment.
И также, Ваша честь, госпожа Вудл отбыла уже 5 дней до этого, 5 дней сейчас и 1 день до этого, поэтому, если можно также это принять в учет.
Ms. Woodle is also But I can let her speak to the court if Your Honor would like more specifics, but on a relatively fixed income at this time, she has already made plans to seek some treatment options. I couldn't get specifics, but her son is helping her with those options.
Также, Ваша честь, госпожа Вуди, конечно, может конкретно это все изложить, но у нее
Someone taught Larry Beaver in his short time here how to fight like a Canadian. He's pulled his jersey over his head and he's beaten him. You guys, I love you all so much. Ah, my little Larrys, you need to be good. Seriously, guys, I love the discussion and I love learning all this different kind of stuff with you. This is so funny. I'm so glad his shirt came up. Like, that made my day. Because that is how you fight in hockey. You pull the jersey over the head. You drop your gloves first. Drop your gloves. Then you pull the jersey over the head, and then you fight. Fight. See, I'm Canadian.
сейчас ограниченный доход, она уже, значит, запланировала варианты лечения, и также ее сын ей помогает.
And we would ask that any discretionary fines or fees are waived for Ms. Woodle.
А также мы просим, чтобы любые усмотренные штрафы или сборы были бы отменены, сняты с госпожи Вудл.
Ms. Whittle, this is your opportunity to address the court before I impose my sentence. Is there anything you want the court to know?
Госпожа Вудл, это сейчас у вас есть возможность адресовать какие-либо вопросы суду перед тем, как я вынесу решение. Вы хотели бы что-нибудь сказать?
Я буду следовать всем рекомендациям.
I will comply with all the recommendations.
Okay. So, anything else, ma'am, before I...
Что-нибудь еще перед тем, как я...
Grammy made it into the Discord, by the way. Good job, Grammy Rita. You're there. Also, yes, the judge is 12, and this is bring your child to work day and let them do your work. So his mom is the cool judge who's here sometimes. She's standing off to the side whispering. A Bruins fan, Jody? A-okay. A-okay. I'm a bit of a Canucks fan. I do like hockey, though.
Я хочу нормальную жизнь, хочу наладить хочу наладить свою жизнь. То есть я буду следовать всем рекомендациям, пройду все тритменты, которые нужно будет. Так что, то есть как бы вернуться в нормальное состояние.
I would like to live a normal life. I would like to improve my life. I'm going to follow all the recommendations and all the treatments.
We should do some hockey fight
Okay,
stream
ma'am, I'm going to
watching.
largely follow the agreed recommendation.
Is he got earpieces in, by the way? I think he has earpieces in. That's how she's telling him. Hi, Sean. Nice to see you. Yeah, we should do some hockey fight streams. I really like it when they mic up professional sports players. That's like one of my favorite things to watch.
Конечно, я полагаю, что вы будете следовать рекомендациям.
I'm going to impose 364 days, suspending 358 days, leaving 6 days to serve, and give you credit for the 6 days that you've already served.
Тогда из 360...
What? Did he just give her 6 extra? Hold on. Did he just give her 6 extra days and the prosecutor said no more? What a fucking dick.
I'm going to impose 364 days, suspending 358 days, leaving 6 days to serve, and give you credit for the 6 days that you've already served.
Тогда из 364 дней я убираю 358 дней, а 6 дней, которые вы отбыли, я зачисляю их в вашу пользу.
That will be deferred for a period of 2 years.
Это будет отложено на период времени в 2 года.
During those 2 years, you are to have no new criminal law violations.
На протяжении последующих 2 лет вам не следует совершать какие-либо уголовные преступления,
Appear at any future court dates.
являться на все последующие судебные заседания,
Obtain a drug and alcohol evaluation and follow up with any recommended treatment.
Также необходимо будет получить бумагу, то есть подтверждение оценки вашего состояния в отношении употребления наркотиков и алкоголя.
I know, Deborah, you're right. And I forget about that sometimes. And oftentimes I'll remark when judges say, please note that even if you accept this plea deal, that I'm not behooven to follow it. And that if I don't follow it, that is not reason for you to be able to withdraw your plea. Sometimes I feel like they say that just to say it, but in reality, it's true. They don't have to follow it. They're the, I guess, arbitrator in this case or in these cases, and they're the ones that would decide that. So it's sometimes easy to forget that. Like, yeah. And he did defer it. It is to have some leverage. I think, I'm going to be honest with you, I believe that 2 years, I think it was 360 whatever deferred. 358 deferred. I think it's a lot to ask somebody. Can you? Well, I've heard them say the opposite. You can't withdraw the plea if they don't follow the agreement. But I definitely have heard judges say that because I've remarked on that recently. But 1 year deferred with 2 year probation time. I think it might be, well, I'm not going to wish ill upon her, but I'm going to say if somebody has a drug problem, it might be kind of hard to stay out of trouble for 2 whole years. I don't know if it would be better to be honest about that and just say like, hey, I need to get a prison sentence or a jail sentence that ends and like categorically and not be on probation. I've heard judges say like, you don't want to be on probation. This is the sort of alternative. And I'm not saying she shouldn't serve more time, but I'm saying it sounds like something I would be like, of course I could do that for 2 years. I don't know if I could, stay out of trouble. It's just hard. And it depends. So Scott's saying it depends on the state. In Texas, you can withdraw your plea. In the federal system, you can't. Deborah's saying that as well. Actually, you can withdraw in many cases. And I don't think judges want to do that very often. That's not the whole goal. But I have heard them say it, especially in this court in Bothell, where they hire Steven Tyler as their prosecutor.
Воля, а также пройти необходимое лечение.
Abide by any stay out of drug area orders.
Необходимо следовать всем директивам по избежанию районов в связи с употреблением наркотиков.
And you're to meet with probation via the phone next Tuesday, the 22nd at 9:30.
Вам необходимо также будет поговорить с пробационным офицером во вторник, 22 числа в 9:30.
I'm going to find that you're indigent and not impose any fines, fees, or assessments.
Также признаю то, что вы неимущая и не буду с вас взимать эти сборы.
Does anybody have any questions asked to my sentence?
У кого-нибудь вопросы есть перед тем, как я вынесу решение?
No, Your Honor, I just wanted to clarify that Ms. Woodle would get a copy of the SOTA order. She was asking questions about the geographical areas.
Нет, Ваша честь. Просто я хотела бы, чтобы госпожа Вудл получила копию приговора в связи с какие области необходимо избегать, потому географически, потому что она задавала по этому поводу вопросы.
A map will be given to her.
Карта будет ей предоставлена. Спасибо.
All right, ma'am. If you're not being held on anything else, you should be released today. Good luck to you.
Хорошо, госпожа, если вас не задерживают по какому-либо другому вопросу, тогда сегодня вас освободят. Удачи вам.
Thank you.
And Mr. Interpreter, thank you for your services. You're excused.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. I'd like to turn to the Spanish language interpreter matter. I think we only have a few more moments. I believe that's the Lejas Rojas matter.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
All right, if you,
Here we go. Paisley failed Spanish. Let's rub it in again. No, seriously, guys. I'm sorry I picked the interpreter docket, but we're in it now. Billy, are you seeing my camera to be lowered down so you can see my my stomach? It would suck balls to be in jail in a country where you don't speak the language. I agree, Scott. That would be terrifying. Be like, what the heck?
Madam Interpreter, if you can go ahead and state your name and your qualifications for the record.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Hillary Hughes, State Certified Permanently Sworn Court Interpreter Spanish. Señor Velázquez, la intérprete se identificó.
Thank you. This comes on for an arraignment today.
Bueno, estamos aquí para la lectura de los cargos ahora.
To one count of criminal trespass in the first degree.
Es un cargo de entrada ilícita en primer grado.
Does anybody want to put anything on the record before I have a colloquy with the defendant?
¿Alguien quiere explicarme algo antes de que yo hable con el acusado?
Like, does he waive a formal reading?
Bueno,
Yes, Your Honor.
entonces renuncia a la lectura formal.
And Your Honor, just to make my appearance on the record, Anthony McCluskey on behalf of defense, I did have a conversation with the defendant. We did go over his constitutional rights, the charges against him, and the maximum penalty for that charge.
Sí, su señoría, y para constar en actas, Anthony McCluskey, ya conversé con el acusado, repasamos sus derechos, los cargos y las penalidades máximas relativas.
And with that, Your Honor, we would waive any further formal reading and request entry of a plea of not guilty.
Con respecto a eso, su señoría, renunciamos a una lectura formal adicional y presento una declaración de no culpable.
Thank you. Sir, is your name Juan Velázquez Rojas?
Señor, su nombre es Juan Velázquez Rojas.
Rosas.
Rosas, yes.
Thank you. And your
Gracias.
birth date's July 7th, 1993?
Y su fecha de nacimiento es el 3 de julio de 1993.
Oh, that's a hard 1993. Jesus Christ. Ugh. Don't do drugs, kids.
7 de julio de 1993.
July 7th.
I'm 93. I'm 5 years older than this guy.
1993.
Yes.
Okay.
You've been charged today with one count of criminal trespass in the first degree.
Ahora se le acusa de un cargo de entrada ilícita en primer grado.
If convicted of that, the maximum penalty is 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine.
Si es condenado, usted puede enfrentar la condena máxima de 364 días de cárcel y $5,000 de multa.
My understanding, you want to plead not guilty today?
Tengo entendido que usted desea declararse no culpable ahora.
Is that correct?
¿Correcto?
Correcto.
Correct.
Not guilty plea will enter. In terms of probable cause, is there any arguments from defense?
Su declaración de no culpable consta en actas. ¿Hay algún argumento sobre el motivo fundado, señor defensor?
Not in this case, Your Honor.
No en este caso, su señoría.
I've read the police report. I'll make a finding of probable cause for purposes of this case.
Ya leí el reporte policial y hago una determinación de hechos conocidos en este caso.
I've read the city's proposed conditions.
Ya leí también lo de voto, o sea, las condiciones propuestas por la fiscalía,
Which includes a request for bail in the amount of $500.
que incluye una solicitud para la imposición de una fianza en la cantidad de $500.
Is defense going to object to any of those conditions before I turn to the city?
Señor defensor, ¿hay alguna objeción a esas condiciones antes de que le dé la palabra a la fiscal?
Defense has no objection to the standard conditions of release, Your Honor. Defense would object to the imposition of bail.
All right.
Ninguna objeción a las condiciones normales, su señoría. No obstante, hay una objeción a la imposición de una fianza en este caso.
All right, city. Reason you're requesting bail, I take it as, I'm assuming it's the fact that he's got another case that's pending that's here next week. But
Señorita fiscal, la razón por la cual está solicitando una fianza, me imagino que tiene que ver con el hecho de que tiene otro caso.
Your Honor, normally I wouldn't request bail. Mr. Velasquez Rojas, has very little criminal history, he has no warrant history.
Su señoría, normalmente no solicitaría la imposición de una fianza. El señor Velázquez tiene muy pocos antecedentes, no tiene órdenes de arresto.
However, in this case, he returned to the very same address. He acknowledged he wasn't supposed to be there. This is 3 weeks later. He's returned to the identical same unoccupied house. And Mr. Velasquez Rojas needs not to return to that residence, and that is the sole reason that the city was requesting any bail.
No obstante, 3 semanas después, el señor Velázquez volvió al mismo domicilio, a la misma casa vacía, 3 semanas después, y él reconoció de que no tenía derecho de estar ahí.
all right. Don't need to hear from defense. So I'm going to release you and your promise to appear at your next court date.
Look at this card I have. It says, all I need is you. And it comes with a pack of matches. I'm sorry I can't give them to you, Billy. But yeah. You gotta think outside the box. If you're gonna light something on fire that shouldn't be lit on fire, or you're gonna try and create a fire, please go ahead and do it in your sink.
Y esa es la única razón que solicito la fianza. No necesito escuchar al defensor. Señor, le voy a soltar bajo palabra.
I'm going to adopt the conditions as requested by the city, other than bail.
Adopto las condiciones recomendadas con la excepción de la fianza.
Which includes do not return to the 18928 101st Avenue Northeast Bothell.
101st Avenue, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you. Y eso incluye que usted está prohibido volver a la dirección en 11928 101 Avenida en Bothell.
And have no new criminal law violations.
Adicionalmente, le prohíbo.
Also, honestly, if you have a toaster and you have some paper, I think if you put a piece of paper in your toaster, it will light on.
Quebrantar la ley.
I'm going to track this with your other pending matter, so you're going to have court on the same day for both matters.
Voy a juntar este caso con el otro caso que tiene pendiente, así que va a tener una sola corte para los dos casos a la vez.
Which is next Thursday.
Y su corte para los dos casos es el próximo jueves.
Does anybody have any questions as to the conditions?
¿Alguien tiene alguna pregunta respecto a las condiciones?
No questions regarding the conditions, Your Honor. I would ask for direct appointment in this case, as my law firm does represent him on the other criminal trespass.
Ninguna pregunta respecto a las condiciones, su señoría. No obstante, le solicito la asignación de nuestro bufete jurídico a representarle como le representamos en el otro caso también.
I'll grant that.
Concedido.
So, sir, we'll see you back here next week.
Entonces, señor, nos vemos aquí nuevamente la próxima semana.
And you should be released later today.
Y le van a soltar al ratito.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And while I have the interpreter here, it's my understanding that there's one other Spanish language interpreter matter.
People just never stop talking. Oh my fucking God. Dude, almost at their house, instead of looking for a lighter, I just light the barbecue every time. I don't even put something on it. I just put the joint into the barbecue. Gets lit right like that. Also, here's a real camping trip that I learned, which is some cotton balls with a little bit of Vaseline on it in Girl Guides. Like, that is something you keep in your fire starting kit, because it actually really catches very well and stays lit for quite a while. So, if you were like trying to light a real fire. And I love a real fire too. Whoever said that, was that Bruce? I really like a real fire as well. But um we should all take this moment to remind ourselves that we should have emergency kits at our house. I have an emergency kit at my house. I live in a high earthquake area. So what's in there? Extra weed, um, lighters and matches, candy bars, some pop. No, I'm just joking. I have a life straw in there. I do actually have a real emergency kit. And I would actually urge all of you to begin building your emergency kits little by little. It's too much to do at once, but every paycheck or every month, you can grab one little thing for it and begin to build it up. It sounds silly, but in times like these, you'll probably appreciate it. Let's all start by doing matches. Let's all get matches for our emergency kits. That's a good idea. We should do that every month. We should have a thing, and then we'll do it.
And that person was not transported. Is that correct? A David Medea?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Your Honor, yes.
We're just going to carry that one day.
2 days to Thursday.
Okay, we'll carry that to Thursday. Thank you, Madam Interpreter, for your services. You're free to leave.
Thank you, Your Honor. And the interpreter did confirm, as she was requested for Mr. Antonio, that Mr. McCluskey says he does not need an interpreter.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, who do we have here today?
I believe, Your Honor, this is Mr. Antonio Araujo.
And Deborah's right about that. Everyone with children or property also needs to execute a will. Strike anywhere matches are really good. And emergency pop is great because the thing about emergency kits is actually what you need to buy for them are things that you regularly use in your life so that you can cycle them in. FIFO, first in, first out. So buying Coca-Cola to have in your emergency kit area is fine because when you run out of pop, you can go get it and use it. My emergencies have a very low bar for me to dig into the emergency kit. Let's just put it that way. Strike anywhere matches are illegal in Nevada, Scott. That's so interesting. Like I said, I've watched quite a few. I like survival stuff, and I used to be really into like prepping. I had a dehydrator. Remember my mushroom ketchup, which turned out perfect, by the way. Anyways. Also, MB, I thought you said mercy. Like, I'm done. Like, this is enough, KCC. But you meant merch. And I was like, now that's a good idea. Get my shit together. They could be like matches that have a bail bondsman number on them, maybe.
All right, sir, is your name Marco Antonio Araujo?
Yes.
Your birth date's July 28th, 1986.
Yes.
Let me ask your attorney, does he wish to waive a formal reading at this time?
No, Your Honor, we would waive formal reading and request entry of plea of not guilty, or pleas of not guilty, excuse me.
Understood. Sir, you've been charged with 2 counts today. Count 1 is malicious mischief in the 3rd degree with the allegation of domestic violence. Count 2 is interfering with a reporting of domestic violence, which is also a gross misdemeanor. Maximum penalty on both are 364 days and a $5,000 fine. It's my understanding you want to plead not guilty to both counts today?
No,
not guilty. Any argument after probable cause?
Not in this case, Your Honor.
Okay, I was obsessed with MREs, still am a little bit obsessed with MREs. I've watched all Steve 1989 MREs videos. Plus, I had a really great boyfriend once who got me a German EMP, I think they're called. ERA, maybe? Anyways, I've never before in my life been so excited to receive 8-year out-of-date food as a gift. It was just so, like, It's not about eating it in those cases. It's like seeing something I watch on YouTube all the time. I was just like, oh my God. I still have parts of it. It did not taste good. I don't think it's meant to. But anyways, I do love me some MREs. And again, Grammy, Rita, you've got the good idea with the cycling in and out. Like that's really where you want to be, utilizing things, right? Because that way it's not just wasteful. Plus, you want to have it be food and stuff that you actually eat. If you buy random shit that you're never going to eat and you've never tried before, it's not actually going to be useful for you in an emergency as much as it would be to find food that keeps for quite a while that you can normally cycle into your usage.
Okay. I've read the police report. I'll make a finding of probable cause for both matters. I've read the state's request for conditions, which is including a no contact order in this matter, no criminal law violations, abide by all court orders and appear at future court hearings, but they're not asking for bail. Is that correct, City?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Any arguments as to that or any objections after any of those conditions?
No objection to the standard conditions of release, Your Honor. Defense would ask for an exception in the no contact order. Obviously, the alleged victim in this case does have a child in common with the defendant. So defense would just be asking for an exception to that no contact order to allow for communication regarding childcare and nothing else. But that way he can still coordinate to see his son, Your Honor.
Is there a parenting plan in place?
I do not believe so, Your Honor. He did indicate to me that the son does reside primarily with the mother.
Okay. Given the facts of this case, I'm not inclined to do it at this time. You may be able to address that at a later date with the judge, but given how this all ensued was over the child care issues or who's in charge of the child, I'm not going to do that today. But I will impose a no contact order. And with that no contact order, there is a prohibition for owning or possessing a firearm, sir. I'm going to set a proof hearing that you forfeited any firearms that you have to August 17th, which is 2 days from today at 9 o'clock. I will accept a declaration of non-surrender if he's willing to sign one today if he doesn't have anything to forfeit. So if you sign a declaration of non-surrender, I will, you don't have to be at the August 17th hearing. Your pretrial date is going to be September 7th at 1:30. Jury trial is October 16th. I am signing the no contact order at this time, prohibiting you from having contact with the mother of your child, Jose Maria Diaz Fritas Silva. We'll send that over so you can have a copy of that, sir. Will he sign a declaration of non-surrender?
He will, Your Honor, yes.
All right. So, sir, I'm going to release you on your promise to appear at any future court dates. Make sure before your next date, you meet with your attorney. You understand all of that?
Yes.
All right. So you'll be released later today.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, can defense would ask for direct appointment in this case as well. And then just a question on the declaration of non-surrender. Will that be provided to him to sign today, or is that something counsel needs to do in the future?
Well, he has till August 17th to sign a declaration of non-surrender. So if he doesn't get one today, he needs to figure out how to get one tomorrow if he's going to sign that. If not, he needs to forfeit the firearm.
I don't have it.
But when we send over the paperwork, before you're released today, you should get a copy of that.
So when you get the copy of it, the declaration of non-surrender, that's what we already talked about. That's just where you're stating you don't own any firearms, you don't possess any firearms or a concealed pistol license. Okay, so you can go ahead and sign that.
Okay. So I've been charged for the phone, a broken phone.
Just wait. Hey, wait. We don't want to talk about the fact.
Dude, don't talk about your tastes. You literally just admitted. It's like it's so uncanny how quickly people are able to fuck their shit up. The lawyer's just like, please. He's literally praying. Please don't say that. And he's like, so I broke the phone. It's like, there we go. Jesus Christ.
That's your case, remember? Okay. So you and I will have a meeting, or you and one of my colleagues will have a meeting where we can talk about the facts, okay?
All right, so
Thank
that
you,
will
Honor.
conclude your hearing. We'll see you back in September.
All right, Mr. Antonio. Return to yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you. So as we're waiting for the next person to arrive, my understanding that Marissa Graham also was not transported. Are we going to carry that 2 days as well?
I know they were not transported, Your Honor. I would defer to the city and the court on exact dates of when that would be set to.
We usually do, Your Honor, unless the city is not asking for bail.
The city is requesting to maintain bail in that matter.
Okay, we'll just maintain bail and carry it 2 days. And who do we have currently here?
I believe this is Mr. Solis.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, buddy. Now that's it. Don't say anything else.
And Your Honor, defense would want to be heard on probable cause in this matter.
Okay, but does he wish to waive a formal reading at this time?
Yes, Your Honor, we would waive formal reading.
All right. Sir, is your name Luis Solis?
Yes, Luis Solis.
And your birth date is January 6, 2005?
Correct.
You've been charged today with...
Did they just say 2005? Oh my God. I could almost be this kid's mother. Holy shit. My kid's born in 08. Oh, that's fucked up.
2 counts. Count 1 is assault in the 4th degree, domestic violence. If convicted of that, it carries with it a maximum penalty of 364 days, a $5,000 fine. Because there's an allegation that domestic violence is involved, you would also lose your ability to own or possess a firearm until that right has been restored. You've also been charged with 1 count of resisting arrest. The maximum penalty of that, if convicted, is 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. It's my understanding you want to plead not guilty today.
Yes.
Not guilty pleas will enter. I'll hear from defense as to probable cause. And is it to both counts or just count 1?
Well, I guess, Your Honor, it'd be to count 1, and then obviously, if there was no probable cause for the assault 4, then there would not be a problem.
You liked the neats, did you, Jody? Or who was it that got... Oh, Sashina, you got some by accident. I like parsnips a little bit. What did you say, Amby? I can be mom to everyone on the screen except for prosecutor Stephen Tyler.
Not be probable cause for an arrest.
Okay, so I will hear from you, then the city.
Thank you, Your Honor. In short, the allegations are assault for domestic violence. The reporting party in this case called saying that they saw 2 subjects pushing each other and arguing at a bus stop. Before that, they heard some commotion of what sounded like someone being pushed against a mailbox, is how the reporting party described it. They did not see anything. In large part, Your Honor, this strikes defense as similar to when a foul is committed.
Yeah, that's actually tough. I don't know how you would be able to say it sounded like somebody getting pushed up against a mailbox. Like, that doesn't... I don't know if that's really admissible. I feel like this is the defense attorney here has a point. Like, it's like when we hear people in TPO hearings when they're like, no, I wasn't there, but I was on the phone. Well, was it on FaceTime? Like, were you actually watching, or you're just hearing what you're saying, right?
In a sport and the original foul is not seen, the person responds and is committed. In large part, Your Honor, this strikes defense as similar to when a foul is committed in a sport and the original foul is not seen, the person responds, and then the referee sees the response, and that is what is ultimately penalized. The reporting party has...
No. That is not a good analogy. And that's not what it's like, because regardless if the referee saw the first foul, if he or she saw the second foul, yeah, you call it. What it would be more like is I don't think that they were able to identify this, and that part or that charge should be thrown out. If you're charging based on the actual thing that somebody witnessed, that's different. But I don't think that's a very good analogy. Maybe just different sports than I play. I play soccer. People are going for late fouls all the time. I've been red carded in soccer before.
Has no idea what happened. The reporting party has no idea whether the alleged victim pushed the defendant in this case first, and then the allegations of seeing the defendant then push the alleged victim would be self-defense. Moreover, Your Honor, in speaking with both the defendant and the alleged victim, they both denied that any physical altercation took place. The police asked the alleged victim about the scratches on her arm, as well as the red mark. The scratches were attributed to previously cutting herself in the past, and the red mark was attributed to a hickey, Your Honor. So defense does not believe that there is probable cause in this case for an assault for charge.
Did
Your Honor, I'm looking at the report. The reporting party, Susan, indicated that
I was just trying to show you I'm a magic marker. As you can see, I just scratched my arm and it will start to develop into what could look like pretty wicked scratches if you really wanted. A hickey, first of all, don't give people hickeys. We're adults, okay? Don't give adults hickeys. Is that kink shaming? I feel a little bad about that, but also, like, don't give me a hickey. Fuck off. Sucking on my neck like that and leaving marks that I'm gonna have to deal with later. No. I don't know. Look at now, like, seriously. Scratches? Yeah, we're way too old for that. Like, you can leave marks. You know I love marks. If you don't know that, check out the Discord and the kink link or the not safe for work tab. And no shame except, I don't know. Hey, and let's actually remember something. These kids are just kids. 2005, literally 18 years old, right? So at 18, yeah, I had hickeys. A little. I had a job though, so I was like, please don't do them here.
initially she heard a commotion by the mailbox, thought she heard what seemed to be someone who maybe had been pushed against the mailbox, but when she actually saw the parties, she said she saw Louise aggressively push Laura and said that Laura pushed him back in a defensive manner. So they continued to yell at other. She was concerned it was escalating. There's also a witness statement that she had provided to the officer. I'm going to try and scroll it out.
All right, so I read the police report before taking the bench. Whether or not the city can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt is a very different standard than probable cause. Given the third-party witness who, when they saw the commotion, initially saw the defendant lay hands on Miss Cox, who I would note is present via Zoom, I'm going to make a finding of probable cause for both counts. Whether or not the city can prove it is a whole different matter.
No, Tin Man, we cannot shame somebody who likes ice hands. Also, I've played with ice before. That's intense. But we can't shame them. We can talk about it openly, but we don't shame. I'm trying to think. I'm like, ice hands. Maybe that would be cool. One time I had this guy who like chewed gum first before we played and was trying to ride the menthol train, let's say. Exactly, Sashima. You must be adult and you must be consenting, and if those two things are checked, we don't give a shit what you do.
I'm going to ask the city, there's no request for a no contact order at this time. That's correct.
That is correct.
And you're not asking for bail. And have you talked to the Ms. Cox today to see if she's asking for a no contact order or not?
Your Honor, I have, as well as our advocate has spoken with her as well.
Okay.
And she is not. We're asking for no hostile contact, Your Honor.
Okay, so with the conditions as requested by defense, is there any objection?
There would be no objection, no, Your Honor, and I would ask for direct appointment as well in this case.
All right, I'm going to directly appoint you, sir. You're going to be released today. You're promised to appear at your future court dates. Your next court date's September 7th at 2:30 in person. Your jury trial date's going to be October 16th. Make sure you meet with your attorney between now and the next court date. No hostile contact with Ms. Cox. Abide by any court orders in any case, have no new criminal law violations, and appear at all future court dates. You understand all that, sir?
Yes.
All right, so you should be released later today if you're not being held on anything else.
Anybody excuse, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you.
All right, sir.
Who do we have here?
This is Mr. Eli, Your Honor, and this is a change of plea.
Okay,
He's probably going from innocent or no contact. Oh no, innocent to guilty, I'm assuming. Pop Rock BJ's. You gotta be careful with Pop Rocks in the vagina. And candy in general, food items in general in the vagina, you need to be careful of, folks. But hi, Alibi from Tennessee. But y'all know I have a little thing about food, my own little food kinks. It's when I'm hungry and horny at the same time. I just like put them together. And I'm like, well, what if we could put some steak sauce on your day? Like, I want to eat steak. I want to eat. Okay.
you want to address anything on the plea paperwork before I go over with them?
Defense does not, Your Honor. I'll just let the court know that I went through the statement of defendant on plea of guilty with Mr. Eli line by line. He indicated to me that he did not have any questions remaining at the end. He did give me permission to sign on his behalf, and therefore, Your Honor, I do believe he's making a knowingly, intelligently, and voluntary waiver with an awareness of the constitutional rights being surrendered.
Can eat
Okay.
sex.
Sir, is your name Zachary Eli?
Yes, sir.
You're 32 years old.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have a statement of defendant on plea of guilty before me to one.
Maple syrup is sticky, but that's why I have a special set of sheets for my bed that are hosable down. Well, that's not quite the only reason, but maple syrup is a good little thing to put on there.
On account of obstructing a law enforcement officer. Did you go over that with your attorney?
Yes, I did.
Did he read it to you? You read it to yourself, or some combination thereof?
He went over it with me and I understand it.
Did he? Next question. Did he answer any questions you may have had?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that if you plead guilty today, you're giving up a variety of important constitutional rights that are contained in paragraph 5 of the plea paperwork?
I do.
Some of those rights are the right to a speedy trial, the right to be presumed innocent, and the right to appeal after a guilty finding.
I do.
You also understand that although there's an agreement between yourself and the city, I don't have to follow that. I could impose up to the statutory maximum in this case is 364 days and a $5,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea of guilty today or as an offense punishable as a crime may be grounds for deportation, exclusion from the admission to the United States, or denial of naturalization.
I understand.
Other than the plea agreement between yourself and the city, has anybody made any threats or promises to get you to enter a plea today?
No.
There's a statement of facts, paragraph 11. I'm going to read it into the record, ask if you adopt it as your own. It says that on June 6, 2023 in Bothell, Washington, I did willfully hinder, delay, or obstruct a law enforcement officer in the discharge of their official powers or duties. Is that a true statement?
Yes, it is.
Knowing what rights you have in mind and the potential consequences of the plea, how do you plead today to one count?
That is me when I was 20 years old, but my baby and my ex-husband. I actually think I look younger, weirdly a little bit younger now than I did then somehow. And also, she was so cute. She was. But I wish I was 22, only because I would do things just a titch different. I would not worry so much. I would be me earlier, you know? That's it. It's not that I would change anything like that. I just would be me earlier.
Obstructing law enforcement.
Guilty, Your Honor. Oops, sorry, guilty.
No, you're fine. Guilty plea will enter. I'll make a finding that you entered it knowingly, intelligently, voluntarily, and there is a factual basis to support the plea. In terms of sentencing, does the city have anything to add to the written recommendation?
No, Your Honor, this is a great recommendation.
The one thing I want to know is it says in the plea agreement, it says to run it concurrent with other charges. What other charges are you asking that I run it concurrent to?
And so, Your Honor, Mr. Eli just pled guilty to 60 months in Snohomish County. And so defense's request here today is simply to run this, to run any confinement in this charge, to run that concurrent, as he will be serving a lengthy sentence.
Okay.
He pled guilty to what, though? He got 60 months, but what did he plead guilty to get 60 months? How many years is that? Is that more than 5 years? Deborah, we absolutely do need to do a Law Nerds tour. Did you guys see the picture that I posted on Discord where sorry, I'm like looking at something else. Where I found the federal detention center and I took a picture outside of it myself. The Department of Justice in Texas. I worked really hard though on not getting arrested. I really did. And I'm not even going to admit any crimes. Also, yes, this is a bit of a crazy chat, a bit of a crazy place, and that is how it's meant to be. So, 60-month standard or metric time. Well, metric, that could be a long time.
Okay. Anything else from defense?
Given the fact, Your Honor, that he is going to be incarcerated for some time, defense would ask for relief under Blazina, and I did satisfy my obligations under Padilla and Sandoval.
What I don't have the jabs up. What was the 60 months for? I'll ask you in a second, sir.
So, Sheena, that is so great. I'm so glad to hear that your analytics are going up like that. It is really, really nice and validating a little bit when you recognize that people are watching in a way. I love that for you. I'm so thankful and happy. You guys know that. You got to sub to Sashina's channel. I am looking up the other picture. I know weed is illegal in Texas, and I know that. That's why I can only go for like 3-4 days.
Sorry, Your Honor, jabs is loading up for me.
I literally was like, did I put them in slow-mo with one click of a button that I don't remember? Like, what the hell? Look like they're all slow-mo. Watch.
Sorry, Your Honor, jabs is loading up for me.
Mine was slow today too.
Looks to be a controlled substance charge. This is under.
So he's on DOC afterwards. If it's 60 months, it's dealing. Okay. An attempt to alert. Okay. Anything else from defense before I turn to Mr. Eli?
No, Your Honor, but I do believe he wants to address the court as well.
Oh, I get a chance. All right, Mr. Eli, anything you want to say to the court before I impose sentence?
Just that I'm looking at this as a positive. I knew that I was going to prison for quite some time now. I've been fighting a stolen car for about 2 years now. Instead of looking at this as a negative, I'm looking at this as this is the last step I have to take care of so I can be a regular guy. I now have a woman in my life who's a regular citizen and doesn't do drugs and doesn't have a record. So now I have like a purpose and direction.
Oh, sweetie. You want her to wait around for 60 months for you? I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to just be realistic here. Also, look, this is a farther away shot of me literally outside of the jail hugging the sign. Do they have rubber sheets in prison? I don't know. They got them at KCC's house.
To be like a good person. And I would just like to ask the court to please run this concurrent, and I can be on my way to prison and get this over with.
Anything else from either party?
Not from defense, Your Honor.
City?
Your Honor, the city's not opposed to that. I also wonder if, given the sentence that he's and the nature of the charges in the sentence, he's looking towards in Snohomish County, closing the case with time.
Yeah. I'm not inclined to give him probation. All right, sir, I'm gonna give you credit for any time you served on this matter. I don't know how much that's been. I'll run it concurrent. I'm assuming it's that 15 days or whatever that was in the plea paperwork. I'm not suspending any time. I'm not imposing any fines. I feel that you'll be adequately addressed with DOC and DOC supervision after your sentence. Hopefully you are on the right track, like you're saying, and then that you get the treatment. And next time we see you on the street, you'll be on the streets and not in the striped uniform, and you'll be a productive member of society. So good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. That is a sharp suit. I couldn't take my eyes off that suit the whole time. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That is a sharp
striped uniform, and you'll be a productive member of society. So good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. That is a sharp suit. I couldn't take my eyes off that suit the whole time. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Babes, you had to
Alright,
do
what
that
other matters do we have?
first.
We have the Black matter, Your Honor.
Oh, we also have the Nolan matter. That one is, I've read it. I'm gonna make a finding probable cause. This one is a person who's not transported. Is the city gonna ask that Haley Nolan, they'll be set and carried 2 days, or are you gonna ask that we release Haley Nolan?
You guys later, we'll do an actual like KCC after dark stream, and I will tell you about the time that I worked for I don't think it would be considered phone sex, but an adult phone provider. Let's call it that. Funny story. Yeah. Also, you guys, I want to, I don't, but I sort of do want to send a message to Alex Murdaugh just so that Credence and Mikey have to read it.
Nolan and do an out of custody arraignment.
That's correct, Your Honor. The city's not opposed to an out of custody arraignment in this matter.
All right, I'll make a finding probable cause and release Ms. Nolan today for an out of custody arraignment. All right, who do we have currently in the holding cell?
This is Miss Black, Your Honor.
All right, did you have a chance to, you know, put anything on record about the plea paperwork?
Yes, Your Honor. Anthony McCluskey on behalf of Miss Black. I did have a chance to go over the statement of defendant on plea of guilty in its entirety with her. She indicated before giving me authorization to sign on her behalf that she did not have any questions remaining. We did go over her rights. We did go over the consequences of the plea, and therefore I do believe she's making a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver with an awareness of the constitutional rights being surrendered.
All right, ma'am, is your name Nicole Black?
Yes.
You're 36 years old?
Yes.
I have a statement of defendant on plea of guilty before me to one count of possession of stolen property in the
Oh, we fighting, beach? No, seriously, her and I are 1 year apart. That's how I looked last night, right? Sashina, that's a very interesting point you make. You used to work for a company that sold STI kits that detected STIs in cows and in people. Same ingredients. They priced the cattle kits twice the people kits. Let's see. Oh, also, Deborah, I'm writing that down. What was it? Adult entertainment concierge. I like that. And yeah, how do the cows get the STIs? That's a good question. but also I worked for a company. I've had so many jobs. And we made a product that was the same from dirty cows, those slutty whore cows. It's the whore cows. Oh, that's somebody's kink too. Be careful. No, that literally is. But we made a product that was the same for people and animals, like use the same base ingredient. And we charged less for the animal one and more for the human one. So I would sort of like inch people towards the animal cookies. I'd be like, you can eat that. Totally fine. Totally fine.
Third degree, do you have a chance to go over that paperwork with your attorney?
Yes.
Your attorney answer all the questions you've had?
Yes.
You understand if you plead guilty today, you're giving up a variety of important constitutional rights. Those rights are contained in paragraph 5. Some of those rights are the right to a jury trial, the right to remain silent, the right to appeal after a guilty finding. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You understand that although there's an agreement between yourself and the city, I do not have to follow that. I can impose up to the statutory maximum. In this case, it's 364 days and a $5,000 fine.
Mm-hmm.
You also understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea of guilty to an offense punishable as a crime under state law may be grounds for deportation, exclusion from the admission to the United States, or denial of naturalization.
Yes.
Other than the agreement between yourself and the city, has anybody made any threats or promises to get you to enter a plea of guilty today?
No.
There's a statement of facts, which is on paragraph 11 of the plea paperwork. I'm going to read it into the record and ask if you adopt it as your own. It says that on March 17th, 2022 in Bothell, Washington, I did possess stolen property which did not exceed $750 in value. Is that a true statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing what rights you have in mind and the potential consequences of the plea, how do you plead to date one count of possession of stolen property in the third degree?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Guilty plea will enter. I'll make a finding that you plea knowingly, deliberately, voluntarily, and there's a factual basis to support the plea. In terms of sentencing, did you have anything to add to the written recommendation?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Sorry, I said in terms of sentencing, does the city have anything to add to the written recommendation?
I apologize. No, Your Honor, this is an agreed recommendation again.
Mr. McCluskey?
Thank you, Your Honor. Defense is asking the court to follow the agreed recommendation, and speaking with my client, it does sound like she would not have the ability to pay any future legal financial obligations. Therefore, I would ask for relief under Plazina. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but I did satisfy my obligations under Padilla and Sandoval as well.
Ma'am, this is your opportunity to let the court know anything you want me to know before I impose sentencing. You don't have to tell me anything if you choose not to.
I have 3 kids. I'm a single mom. I take care of my mom. She's sick. She's going to be going to.
Hold on, we got to do the what should we call this? The mitigation Macarena? The excuse entendres? I don't know. Let's go back. Let's count them up. She's coming fast and hard at us with these, but let's count them up.
Before I impose sentencing, you don't have to tell me anything if you choose not to.
I have 3 kids. I'm a single mom. I take care of my mom. She's sick. She's going to be going to hospice soon. I'm really sorry for what I've done.
Okay.
I have a basketball game tomorrow. No, I start a new job on Monday. That is the court joke. Seriously. Anybody that knows Jenna Marbles knows the basketball game tomorrow. And I told you guys I've been on a kick lately watching her stuff, as I do every 3 to 6 months for my own sanity. 3 kids, single mom, a sick mom who's in hospice. And here's the problem with me, right? Doesn't that mean your mom's gonna die soon? So you're gonna eliminate like 3 of those problems.
So I'm going to follow the agreed recommendation in this case. I'm going to impose 364. I'm going to suspend 354 for a period of 24 months. You're to update the court if you have any new address, have no new criminal law violations, and don't return to extended stay. You understand that? I'm going to make a finding that you are indigent, and I'm not going to impose any fines, fees, or assessments on this matter. So we give you credit for any time served. I assume she served about the 10 days on this matter. Is that correct?
I think she may have maybe 1 day left.
All right, as soon as you have been done serving this term, ma'am, you'll be released. You can get on with your visiting your mom and parenting your children. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That is sad. Now I feel bad for saying that. A little bit bad. But I am very foul. Just a bad person. This is who I am.
The last matter that I have then that has not yet been addressed is Nicole Hess.
And Your Honor, that, according to the docket, was another refusal. And I believe the court has emailed my law firm already inquiring about whether or not we can get an attorney to go visit with her to see what's going on.
So what is the city's request?
The city would like to maintain that bail, Your Honor. I believe it's $3,000.
Okay. Given that, I'll maintain the bail and carry it 2 days to Thursday. Is there anything else that we need to address that we have not addressed?
I don't believe so.
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
All right, I think that will conclude court then. Thank you both very much. Have a good day, and the court will be in recess.
Well,
Thank you very much.
I'll play the song even though it is my theme song. Don't play a song, please. Guys. What are you scarred at? That looked like they were fucking, didn't it? I realized that I was down here and I was like doing that, but really it made it look like the two Larrys were fucking. You guys, I appreciate you all being here. It's totally see-through. Look at that. You can see right through that. I don't know that you could see that. I checked. Exactly, shit. Okay, Discord link is posted at the top. Make sure that you've clocked in for your shift. We are on our way to 500, you guys. We're going to get there. These are goals that we're making together, and we are going to achieve them together. So Sheena's going to hit 5,000, 500, 5,000 too. You can hit 5,000. We're going to hit 500. It's only 85% sheer. Well, I'll tell you the truth. This shirt is probably old. Pretty old. You guys, I really appreciate all of you. Please remember that this is a fun space. You can come in here and talk about your problems, and you can come in here and have a bad night. Really, don't even care. But make it about you, and we'll help you. Not necessarily worry about other people, because the only person in your life that you are in control of is yourself. So worrying about other people and what they do is not going to be very effective for you. Again, something I wish I learned a lot earlier in my life, but I didn't. Anyways, you guys, please come to the Discord, hang out there. It is a very cool place to be, very chill, I promise you. I love you all very much. I hope to see you tomorrow. You know where I'll be with Credence and Mikey, hopefully, if they're feeling better. If not, I will. Oh, last thing. My dad is in town right now. My dad that I've talked about a lot on the stream, who is a jail guard. I am going to be trying to get him to do a stream with me, and I'd love it if you guys would come out for that. I'll post something on the Discord where I'm going to collect some questions that you may have for somebody who's worked in a jail. And particularly in a youth detention facility. So, very much like a Judge Kim, I think what we'll do is we'll watch a Judge Kim docket with him, and we will do some questions and hanging out with him. So I think that would be a great idea. I tried to talk to him about it today, but we were Barbied out. So I will, I think maybe we'll set that up for this weekend or this Friday, something like that. But you guys remember that I love you. I'm proud of you. Please clock out for your shift by making sure that you have liked or disliked the video. Judge Kim in Texas is a juvenile judge. He is somewhat juvenile sometimes, I would say as well. But again, please take care of yourselves. Remember that I love you, and I will see you soon. Bye. Larry, I said, cut it out. Cut it out.